I'm here. All right. So, hi. Tonight is, that's right. Today, I believe, we're at Wednesday. All right. It just turned into Wednesday. So, it's Wednesday, February 12th. And I'm just here seeing if anybody will come on. And in the meantime, I'm going to read you guys something from my little pamphlet. Remember, I had my little pamphlet? This is the thing that I found that I've had for a long time, for years, literally years. Oh, look, somebody came. Verity, hi. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on. Medic with love. Thank you. Hi. JB808. All right. It's Midnight with Magoo. That is correct. It is, tonight is the night. Now, miss me. All right. Good morning. Good to see you guys. Thank you for coming on. Hey, Sophie. Hi. Hey, Dragon Mad. Wild and crazy things from the UK. Oh, God. You guys are going through some stuff like we're not. Tomorrow night is going to be this. We had the big fires. And so everybody's worried that's around the fires that now we're going to have these huge rains. And so for the areas that are, below where it was real toxic, they're afraid it's going to come into their homes. So it's tricky. All right. Let me see. I know what's happening. This light is like really bright, so it's kind of hard to read. Okay, I'm tapping in from London, UK. All right, miss me. Good. Well, I like UK. I like the UK. I went to Anonymous Flow, Mark Bunker and I in 2008, either 8 or 9, to London. I think it was in 8, to protest with them. And it was really fun. It was really amazing to see how cool they are there. Like here, the police are pretty much most of the time on Scientology's side and against us as anybody protesting. But over there, no dice. They were like, half the street is anonymous, half the street are public. That's the way it's going down. And it was so cool to have that support. It was really neat. It was very different for me. Hi, love it. Welcome. So it was really neat for me. It was neat to see and have the actual police be on both sides instead of just mostly on Scientology's side and kind of against us when we had to do what they said. And even though it wasn't legal, it was very strange. This was back in the days when we used to go down to the shrine. They'd have their events down there, and we'd go down there, and the police would always say, you have to stand on that side of the street, and we ended up realizing that was actually better anyway, because people would drive up to the event, they'd see us on this side of the street, and they're driving in, and they'd all look at our signs and stuff. Whereas if we were on the other side, they were kind of brainwashed. Don't look at the sign. Miss me. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you, Tori. Thank you. Sorry, Tori, I misspelled your name because of autocorrect. No problemo. I'm very used to it. It's just one of those things that happens. And isn't autocorrect weird? I have to say, it's not my favorite thing. I have a friend called Tori, Tori, so my phone keeps correcting your name. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, that's a weird thing about it. The other thing is if you buy, I wanted to buy some shoes, some sandals. And I mean, this was 2 years ago. I started looking for sandals online. And I swear to God, it's 2 years later now, and I still almost all through my Facebook are these ads for these sandals. It's just so weird. It's like, What is that about? I don't know if you guys have had that. Have any of you had that where you haven't, you're looking for something and then they pick it up and it's like, well, it's 2 years and you haven't gotten your sandals. So they're like pushing it on me. It's really funny. It is. Well, anyway, tonight I wanted to talk to you guys about, was Hubbard a liar, a thief, a con man, or all of those? And I would have to say, having been in Scientology for 30 years and really tried to follow L. Ron Hubbard, he is all of those. Because it turned, like for me, I have epilepsy. I take medicine for it. I had to fight them tooth and nail to take my medicine for 30 years. And then I get out and find out he was popping pills all the time, not just medical pills, which I really needed them. Do you know what I mean? Not only that, but drugs and stuff like that. I know people that were with him. It was like unbelievable. So it's definitely a liar. And he also was a liar because he stole a lot of the materials. My friend, I won't say his name, but he and his partner, who's now passed away, but the two of them spent 10 years tracing down every major piece of tech that L. Ron Hubbard promoted, saying he wrote it. And every single piece of technology that he said he wrote had an earlier beginning with another philosophy, another author, another religion, something else. And he'd taken it from them, put a little twist on it so it looked like it was something new, and said it was L. Ron Hubbard. So he was really just a good ripoff artist. So that's why I say, was he a thief? I mean, yeah, he was a thief. And he was a con man. He definitely, he said in 1949, I think, you want to make money, start a religion. We didn't know that. Okay. Yes, Tori, the algorithm is very advanced. It's a whole other level of marketing, truly. If you talk about something, your phone will show it. I've had that happen too. It's another weird thing. All of the above. Yep. Do as I say, not as I do. Righteous SOB. Correct, Verity. All right. Which came first? That's a good question. Let's see. A liar, a thief, or a con man? I think probably a liar. Because remember, early on, he had that thing with Aleister Crowley, who it turned out was long distance. I didn't realize that until I got out also. And Jack Parsons. And he ended up stealing Jack Parsons' wife. And, he was he had to have been kind of a liar, con man, and a thief, I mean, okay, here's Sophie. I always love your questions, Sophie. Do you think Scientologists would even believe you if you told them he said that about making money and starting a religion? No, because it's just like any kind of mind control. A man hears what he wants to hear and disregards the rest. So it's like, if I said, hey, Harold Bazazian, L. Ron Hubbard really, when your parents got in 1950, right before that, he'd said, if you want to make money, start a religion. And your parents gave him thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. I mean, probably hundreds of thousands of dollars. And his father told me when he finished OT7, I asked him, I said, what was your win? And he said, you want to hear my win? And I said, yeah, I really do. And he said, okay, here's my win. Now I can give my money to the charities that I want. And I was like stunned. It's like, that's your win? This is a success? It was awful. I wrote it up as they call it a red tag, which means your folder has a red tag on it, meaning you have to go back in and get fixed. And he never got fixed. He died shortly after that. But what a mess. What a mess. No, he wouldn't have believed it. I mean, he might have bet at that point. He might have. But anybody who's still in the Scientology Truman Show, no, they're not going to hear it because they're just like, no, that's not true. And first of all, they're brainwashed that we're evil, horrible people that are always telling lies. And the only thing we speak about, we learned on the internet. And that's what Osa says all the time, don't you, Osa? And and I know that's not true because I spent 30 years in your organization. So what I'm talking about, I know about. It isn't like someone told me or I think it. I mean, I did learn about L. Ron Hubbard taking drugs after I got out, and that isn't something I experienced personally, but I did experience the medical abuse personally, and I will never forget it. And okay, how does the AI machine detect that it's getting a win? I don't know on that. You mean the e-meter? You mean how does the e-meter? I'm not sure. AI wasn't part of Scientology when I was in it, so I don't know about AI. And I don't know if what we're talking about. I'm going to turn off this light for a minute and see. Let me see. No, that's too dark, right? Well, let me see. I could turn on this light. There you go. That's better. Then I can see you guys. I can't quite see when the other light is a little bit too bright for me. How does the AI machine detect that it's getting a win? You have to explain what you're asking me. If you mean the e-meter, it has a certain, it's originally when we were in it for until 19, I don't know, in the mid 90s, they changed the definition of what is a floating needle. And L. Ron Hubbard said when someone has a win, first of all, you can see it on their face. They're brighter, they're happier, they're like, wow, I finally realized this, and this. Okay. And he said, just glance down at the meter and the needle should be floating. It's not like ticking and it's not doing something weird. It's just kind of floating back and forth. And that is like, okay, that's the e-meter in his universe, in his world, saying you whatever charge you were sitting in, which is a charge equals like an upset, whatever that was, it's moved off, and now that's the needle floats. That's how it works. But then they changed it. Miscavige changed it to now where it has to go back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, and that's ridiculous. L. Ron Hubbard has a policy saying, are you waiting for the meter to play Dixie? And he says in it, don't just stare at the meter. If a person looks like they're happy, look down, glance down, the needle's floating. Thank you very much. Your needle is floating. End of session. That's it. The e-meter. Okay, good. Love it. And Sophie says, chat reminder, please put a question before your questions and provide context. Thanks. Thank you, Sophie. Hi, Tori. Long time since I've seen you live. Hi, D. Thompson. Well, you got to come more often. I'm here. Zach Kohler. Hey, Zach. Those look like teeth. Are they teeth? I'm not sure. I can't quite see what they are. They're either teeth or I don't know what. You'll have to tell me. All right, Sophie, question. Tori, do you think the floating needle is registering a disassociation? Is disassociating? Is registering disassociating? I don't know. I mean, disassociation would mean you're associated with something and then you're disassociated with it, which is disassociation usually I think is kind of a negative thing, right? Isn't it? Like disassociation. Well, I guess it could be disassociation. It's just it's moving away from something that was in, like, let's say you're upset with your friend, and you're just like, "Rock, rock, rock," and I'm really mad, and this and that, and that, and then and you go in session, and an auditor says, "Do you have an upset?" And you say, "Yeah, I'm really dead, and this and that." And okay, and they ask you certain questions, and is there an earlier similar upset? And then you keep going earlier similar, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, you're right. That's when my brother used to do the same thing all the time with me, or whatever, something like that. But it's like a lightening up, because it's not as heavy as it was. And so I don't know if you would call that disassociation. I'm not sure. You'd have to tell me, but it's a good question. Like your brain checks out. No, it's not that. No, it isn't like your brain is checking out. I wouldn't say that. Ending the cycle is the clear. No, that's not true. Ending the cycle is the clear. Clear is nothing. The definition of clear is a perfect memory, a perfect IQ, no somatics, no pains. There isn't anybody that I've met yet that really honestly has that can honestly say they have all four of those. So, no. Ending a cycle is just ending a cycle. It's like if you're going to walk down the block, you walk down to the end of the block. There you go. You're done. The end of the cycle. You started, you moved, and you finished. That's a cycle of action. Sophie, sorry, Tori. I mean that it flattens emotions, not allowing you to feel them, and you disassociate. I know people think that, but I don't think that wasn't real for me. It just wasn't. It wasn't like, because flattening your emotions would be crummy. You would feel worse. I don't think it's that. I think some of the information that you might learn in Scientology gets you to disassociate like that. And that could be true. But as far as auditing, I never found that it flattened emotions for me. That didn't happen. It just seemed like, I did it until I felt better. That's all it was. And for the lower part of the bridge, it worked. From the OT, from clear on up, it didn't. It really didn't. I mean, I kept trying to get it to work, but I didn't. And by OT7, I was literally just flying routes every day for 7 years, which is insane, but I didn't know what else to do at that point. Okay. Okay, JB808. All right, here's a comment. I hate to give Scientology credit, but I've noticed that you and every other ex-Scientologist are really good at communicating. Coincidence, or is there a course that improves communication skills? I think their communication skill, their original communication course was really good. I really liked it. And it's I know you guys have seen drills of people doing the TRs, and they're making them in a certain way where they look awful. But the original communication course for me, and I grew up with parents that were really good communicators, so I was sort of already good at it, but it explained why I was good at it. It kind of gave me the tools to go, oh, yeah. They're just simple things like being there, listening, delivering, seeing if someone's ready to receive a communication. If they are, delivering the communication, acknowledging the communication, which is a huge one that's out in the world. And then TR3, which is repeating the question until the person answers. And TR4 is handling any other distractions that might be there that they're not finishing what you guys started. So to me, the original communication course I liked, and I still like it. I still think it's good, and I think it has good things. What they turned it into, no, it wasn't good at all. And that's a whole different thing. I mean, it wasn't like it wasn't good at all, but it was much more robotic, and you had to sit and stare for 2 hours, and it's of course it's not staring, it's confronting, but it was just too much. It really was. But just someone sitting down and getting comfortable sitting and being with another person, I think is a good thing. I still do. And acknowledgments, I think, are fabulous. And if you listen, many people do not acknowledge each other. They'll hear something and then they're on to another thing. Let's see. Is auditing addictive? I know some people say it is. It wasn't for me, but it didn't work for me because remember, L. Ron Hubbard said I had to handle epilepsy and then I could go back in the Sea Org. Well, luckily, I could never handle epilepsy, so I didn't go back on the Sea Org. But that was my goal. And so it was sort of like everything else was secondary to that. That was sort of like, and people would ask me all the time, well, did this session work? Did it handle epilepsy? Did you get rid of it? It was just awful. It was awful because people were always grilling me on it, which is really creepy. Now, wait, let me see. Question. Okay, so for me, it wasn't addictive, but I know I've heard that too. For some people, it was. It wasn't for me. No. JB808, thanks, Sophie. I'm very observant on that because it's a trait I lack. I'm painfully shy sometimes. I talked to someone today who was painfully shy sometimes. Were you that person? Is it the same person? Anyway, what I recommended to this person is join Toastmasters. Have you guys ever heard of Toastmasters? It's really a fabulous program. It was started by men in the early 1900s who were afraid to talk in front of people. And they were kind of shy and, didn't want to do it. So they created this thing called Toastmasters, and it is fabulous. I mean, it is just little steps that get you better at different things and different tools, and all of a sudden you can speak in front of anybody. It's really great. I can't say it enough. And most of them realized they weren't really speakers, but they knew they'd end up speaking in front of people, which is how most of us are. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to do. I think that maybe you feel heard and validated, and they communicate very clearly and directly. Well, probably, yeah, and they listen to you too. That's the other thing. Tori talks to everyone when she's out and about. She's really cool. Thank you. We can all learn from her. Thank you, love it. I do try to, I try to be inclusive with people because I find they're fascinating. I really do. It's kind of amazing. Some of the least expected things can happen. And they're just like, I love it. It's really great. I agree wholeheartedly, love it. Okay, thank you. JB808, Tori, no. But I'll take any suggestions. Okay, here's the 3 suggestions for this person who is painfully shy and would actually get kind of traumatized by certain things. And I said the 4 agreements, which I've told you guys over and over, get it and use it. It isn't a book to read, because I talk to people all the time. They go, "Oh yeah, I read that book." Well, that isn't the point of it. You got to read it and use it. When you get upset, open up the book. It doesn't matter where. At least for me, it's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that," and then you feel better. So there's that. The second one was 4-7-8, which I've taught you guys before, which is inhale for 4 seconds out in your nose, hold it for 7 seconds, and then exhale through your mouth with your mouth open for 8 seconds. And you can do it over and over. And I was telling him I used to have a hard time driving here in LA because people are like zooming around and they're awful drivers now. And now I do the 4-7-8 to get across town, and it's fabulous. It's like you're just calm and peaceful, and it's really great. And the last one was Toastmasters. Join Toastmasters. So there you go. But I highly recommend it, especially if you feel shy and you don't want to talk to people. It's really good. It really walks you through it. I've been watching you for over maybe 10 years. Been a long time. Love your videos. Thank you very much. The White Moon. How cool. That's the very thank you very much for watching. All right. And can't wait for the cherry blossoms to start blooming in March. Ah, this is one blue sock. All right. Cool. Now, let me see. Did I miss anything else? Ooh, there we go. All right, let's see. Okay, good. I have heard of them. Okay, D. Thompson said you've heard of Toastmasters? Yeah, they're really good. You should. They're all over the world, so you can join them anywhere and just find a group that you like. How's Tokyo? Wow, one blue sock. I really want to go there. That's cool that you're in Tokyo. I like that too. JB, my son is extremely shy. Ah, I tell him that only he knows that and nobody else knows. So he can learn to fake it and it will come. Have your son do Toastmasters. I'm telling you, it is really a lifesaver. It really is. It's really great. And I wasn't shy, and it still helped me a ton. It really did. Um, one blue sock. Love it. It's great. I can't wait for the cherry blossoms. Oh, okay. So that's what you're talking about. How neat. What do you do? Can you tell us what you're doing in Tokyo? I mean, that sounds really interesting. The White Moon. Hi, Tori. Oh, yeah, we read that you've been watching me for 10 years. That's really great. And a great Nick, too. D. Thomas. My mother took Toastmasters back in the 70s. They're still going. They're still kicking. It's really worth it. I don't know why my eyes are getting all blurry. One blue sock. That must be so dreamy. Yeah. Sophie, Tori, you are an amazing communicator and you are very non-judgmental. Thank you. I always see you finding a common ground with people of all backgrounds, and you do it with respect. Thank you, Sophie. I really appreciate that. I really do, because it means a lot to me. It's a big deal for me. I've always loved communication, and I've loved communicating with other people. And that's, I think, one of my favorite ones. I know I've told a lot of you, but I don't know if all of you were here when I told it. But Sophie and Lovett have probably heard it. But I was on a bus when I was a younger kid, and this guy, I don't know if I was a kid. I was probably like 20, but that to me, that's a kid. And I was on a bus, and this guy got on, and he looked kind of almost homeless, right? Really scruffy and not looking good. And I said, "Hey, how you doing?" And he said, "I don't know. I'm okay." And, I just thought, I wonder what this guy's life was like before he turned into what he is now. And so I asked him, I said, "What was your life like before? You must have been doing something. What did you do for most of your life?" And the guy just brightened up and he looks at me and he goes, "You're not going to believe what I did." And I said, "Well, give it a shot. I might." What was it? And I couldn't even imagine. I thought, okay, maybe he was a writer or I don't know what. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't really thinking anything. It's like you said, I'm not judgmental. And I was just really interested in like, okay, what? What was it? And he goes, "I worked for Ringling Brothers Barnum and Bailey Circus for years." And I was like, "You're kidding me." I mean, it was just like, oh my God. It's a total like never judge a book by its cover. And it's such a good example of that. I mean, here's this guy that just looked like a total bum, and probably to most people that's how they treated him. And so he's never going to tell them, right? Because they're treating him like crummy. So why would I share anything with you? But I was sort of like, no, I really want to know. Tell me what did you do in your life? And that's when he got into Ringling Brothers, Barnum. I don't. Is it Ringling Brothers Circus, or it's Barnum and Bailey Circus? Anyway, you know what I mean. It's the circus. So anyway, it was really fun to hear, and that was probably my earliest, biggest, like, wow, it really, you never know. And the other one was when I was in Scientology, you have to always make money. So I was auditing this guy at Celebrity Center, and he comes in one day and he goes, "Here, try this." And I said, "What is it?" And he goes, "It's a protein drink." And now this was way before protein drinks were out. Like now they're everywhere, right? But this was back in the early 70s. And I'd never even heard of a protein drink, right? And I said, "Well, what is a protein drink?" And he said, "Well, just taste it, try it." And it was delicious. It was really good. And I said, "What's the point?" And he goes, "Well, it gives you protein and helps you lose weight." And I've always been working on losing weight for years, because my mother started me on that diet when I was like 5 or 6 or something. And she said, "I think you've gained a little weight." I think I was like 13, but it was very young. She started me on dieting. So I was always dieting. So I was like, all right, I will. So I went to the meeting that night. I fell in love with it. It was multi-level, which everybody now, a lot of people are against it because it's sort of culty and stuff like that. But we were at the very beginning of it, and that's the only way to do a multi-level, because then you make money. But anyway, we did it, and a lot of other people got in it and made money too. It was really fun. And but this one lady came up to me, and she was like an older woman, and she was like a librarian. She worked in a library, and she said, "Well, I want to do it." And I said, "Okay, well, why don't you come to one of the meetings and see what it's about, and see if you really want to do it." And she came to the movie, and to the meeting, and she said, "No, I want to do it." And I said, "Okay." And I signed her up, but I thought, she's not going to do much. She's an older woman and she works in a library. She probably doesn't see that many people. Anyway, I really, again, it was a little bit judgmental. I thought, she's not going to do much. That woman made me more money than anybody. I think I paid for OT 1 through 2 and 3 with that multi-level thing. And Bob Loney was the guy that got me into it. He's on Facebook, Bob Loney is. But he was my PC, and he was the one who got me into it was called Slender Now back in the 70s. And we had fun selling it. We really did. It was my first time selling anything, and I made a ton of money with it. So I liked it. But that was the other thing where I thought, don't judge a book by its cover. Here I was thinking, oh, she's not going to make much. She made me tons and tons of money. I mean, the woman was just like the energy bunny. It was just like money just kept coming in, and they were checks by this lady. It was incredible. It really was. The moon is full tonight. Oh, okay. Okay, now wait. JB808 said, oh, wait a minute. God, you really do sound like this guy. You're amazing. Okay. JB808 said, Sophie, yeah, that's what people have told me too. After I give speeches, they said that they would have even noticed how nervous they wouldn't have noticed how nervous I was if I didn't mention it. Not sure how true that is, though. Probably true. It is. I mean, people all the time put out their negative side. I tell people, Weight Watchers taught me that, because a lot of overweight people, you'll say, "Hey, I like your hair," and especially women, they're like, "Oh, no, I've got to get my hair cut," or "I like your glasses. Oh, these are old," "I like your blouse. Oh, it's really, thank you. It's kind of old." And Weight Watchers taught me, just say thank you. Just get it, receive the communication. And so that helped me a bunch. It really did. And I'm always teaching women about it, because they do that. And I go, "No, wait a minute, just say thank you." And they're like, "Oh, yeah, that's right." Okay, it's a full moon, so I'll have to go out and see it. JB, I know it's hard, but also people have different ways of being. As long as you could stand up for yourself when you need to. I think Sophie's right. And the other thing is, there's no problem in being honest with them and just say, unless you're uncomfortable with it. But I think it's kind of good to just say, just so you know, I'm kind of shy and I'm going to do my best. But then you're sort of putting it out there, trying to get them to be with you. Do you see what I mean? Instead of, like, I'll give you an example. This is another Scientology example, but I went to the Hubbard College. They were trying to start a college, and it was a bunch of executives and me. And this guy who taught he taught you how to do speeches. And he said, okay, I want everyone to think of a story and get up and tell your story. And because they were all executives and everything, I felt like I should be very, very professional. So I was kind of talking like this and 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 that's the end of the story. And the guy took me outside and he goes, I really don't think you're being honest. I don't think this is how you sound. You don't look happy. It doesn't look like you. It doesn't sound like you. I said, yeah, it really isn't, but I feel like I need to be professional. So I was just trying to be professional. And he said, no, I understand that. He said, but here's an easy way to do it. You can say, you know what? I really like having a lot of fun when I talk, but some people want it to be just very professional. So which way would you guys like me to deliver the communication? In a fun way or professionally? And they all went, in a fun way. So then I did the whole thing again. And the guy took me outside. He said, of all these people, you are absolutely the best speaker here. No question. And that was a big honor for me. It was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I mean, whoever he was, it was just, he was a guy who knew how to teach people how to speak. And I thought, well, that's pretty neat. But isn't that interesting that he gave me that, ask the audience, because they'll tell you. And I can't really say I'm going to be shy or not shy because you are shy, so that's sort of tricky. But you could let them know. I mean, I would, because for me, when I have like something that I feel like I don't want them to know, it's better to just say it. Here's the deal. This is what I have. And I'm going to do my best. And I hope you guys help me. And, I hope you support me, or, I don't know, however it's comfortable for you to say it. But then that way you guys are working together. That's the way I like it, where it's just like here, everybody's kind of together. It isn't like me lecturing you guys or something. Larry. Oh, nice. Tori. Thank you. Lurking Larry. I'm going to look into Toastmasters. Good, JB808. Just Googled it, and it looks like they have branches in Hawaii. Yes. I want to tap into my public speaking era. Good. Yeah, because it's really fun. I'll tell you, it's a really fun thing. And like the gentleman I spoke to today also pointed out, it would be a way for him to meet people too. And it is, because there's a lot of people that join Toastmasters. So anyway, it's a fun thing. I mean, I you guys have all heard of bull baiting, right? Yes or no? Off to Thailand on the 18th. We'll say hello to your brother. Ooh, new name. How fun. Please do. Yeah, he's on Sokanyang or something like that. It's an island off of Thailand. Anyway, David Chrisman is his name. You can type him in Facebook and see him, and it'll say where he is. Okay, someone once said to me that conversation is about listening to others. Many people are focused on themselves rather than the person they are listening to. Absolutely correct. For very, very true. And if you think about it, a lot of the people that you love talking with are people that are good listeners. It's true. Love it. Larry's clapping. Good. All right. And one blue sock. I love that. I've been teaching English to business people here for 10 years. Wow. That is that's impressive. I love that story, One Blue Sock. That's really cool. Oh God. I love that. Okay, and Sophie, new name, have a fabulous time. Yeah, truly. Truly. And if you do see my brother, give him a big hug for me. He's such a wonderful person. The white moon. Yes, I remember a lot of your stories from waking up. I think you called it. Yep, basically leaving. Yeah, it was a process of sort of waking up. That's why I call it the Truman Show, because it was like, like Truman was in that show. He was born on a set and he didn't know it was a set. He's the only person that doesn't know it's a set. Everybody in the show knows it's a show. The director knows it's a show. Everyone around the world is turning on the TV to watch Truman and see what happens. He's the only one that doesn't know. But as you watch the movie, you see him slowly, very slowly wake up and just kind of connect the dots, put them together and realize, wait a second, I thought it was this. Now I see it's that. It's really interesting. We love your stories, no matter if we have heard them. Thank you, Sophie. I know, it's funny. I've told them for 24 years, a lot of them. So a lot of people have heard them over and over and over and over and over. But whatever, you can hear them at different ages. White Moon, glad you are here. And we can ask Tori anything. Yeah, true. Ringling Brothers. That's right. It's Ringling Brothers. Isn't it Ringling Brothers Barnaby Circus, though? There's something about Barnaby Circus, something like that. It's not, I think their last name was Barnaby. Cool. All right. JB808. Sophie agreed. I don't care how many times Tori tells her story. I have listened, and I figure that there may be someone who's hearing it for the first time. That's the way I feel. And people tell me that. They write me and they go, oh my God, I can't believe what you've gone through. And, it's like, wow, I've been saying this for 24 years, but here's a brand new person who's like, and I've talked to people telling them these stories where they were going to join Scientology. And then they got on the internet. I've talked to people in other cults that left their cults because of me, because of my stories. And my favorite one, I've told this a bunch of times too, but my favorite one were the teenagers who wrote me and they said it was Friday night. We were all, drinking beers and watching the internet. And we found your site and we were laughing at you and just what a goofball, I was doing Mr. Anonymous and stuff like that. They were like, this chick is crazy. The Scientology stuff is nuts. And finally this guy said, really, we're Jehovah's Witnesses and we kind of do the same thing. And they all woke up. They started looking and researching and finding more stuff. And they all woke up and left. And they sent me this thing saying, thank you so much. And it's so wonderful to be able to help someone like that out of other cults even. That's really cool. Yes, Tori, I judge people on how they behave and treat others, but it's hard to not judge people on how they look. But I always try. That's kind of a good point. It is. I don't know. I think I'm better at that because of that guy that I met on the bus. That was my first thing where I went, wow, you never know what's behind somebody's, how they look. You know what I mean? And if you kind of just, there were these 3 people that were here in Scientology when I was in Scientology. And I was friends with all 3 of their wives. And the husbands were real assholes. I mean, to everyone. They were just like, everyone was like, oh, yeah, no, I don't like him. They were very wealthy and they were sharp guys, but they were creepy. Not creepy, but they just weren't friendly. They just weren't nice. And, I kept thinking, because it was just a general thing. Yeah, they're jerks. That's it. And I thought, well, okay, but I really liked their wives, all three of the wives. I really liked them. So I kind of made it my little adventure to see if I could get into their world and over whatever wall they had up, because I realized it's just a wall, it's a facade. Do you know what I mean? That they have up, that I'm a rich guy and don't question me, kind of thing. And people would be like, oh, okay. It was a fear thing where they were putting out fear, and people would get scared, and they'd be like, okay, no, I don't ever talk to him. I don't know anything about him. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to find out. And I just slowly got over the hill of this big ridge that they had up, each one of them. And I found them. And they were just these sweet, wonderful people. It's like Mr. Anonymous. They were just like sweet people inside. Do you see what I mean? They had somehow figured out this wall, and it was very successful in that they were making a lot of money and people respected them and didn't question them and stuff like that. But they weren't really happy as people. They were very, very fun it was very fun to find them. And it was just one of those things where it's just like you never know. So I look at it as kind of an adventure. So let's see. Thank you, JB808. That's so sweet. All right, Larry, Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus. That's right. That's what it is. Yeah. All right. Now let's see. What's this? Multi-level marketing is very culty. It is. It is. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying it happened. I did a lot of weird things when I first got in Scientology. You woke up at 2:53. All right. Hi, Marcy. M. Pocus. All right. All right. Librarians are hot. Well, some of them. Diane Richardson was not. She was the lady that wrote all those lies about me forever. Okay. Hey, Marcy. Good morning. Now, are you up for the day, or this is just a little brief wake up and then you're going to go back to sleep? Okay, just accept the compliment. Yeah, it's easy to say, but if you start listening, especially to women, men too, but women are way worse. We're much, and I realized I had to start thinking about it because I used to sell jewelry around Los Angeles, and everywhere I'd go, women would be like that. No, negative. And I started thinking, what is that? Because men don't really have that, not like women. And I realized since we were little girls, for most of us, in my generation for sure, it was like, don't be braggadocious, just be, be cool. And, like the guys, it's like, stand up straight and put your shoulders back and march in with confidence, but for a woman, no way. Not when we were kids. No. And so we were kind of raised that way. It was sort of like, oh, it's a nice blouse. Well, not really. It's kind of an old blouse. Just like the negative thing. And I thought that's because we all were raised with that. So I explained that to women a lot. And they all go, yeah, you're right. Okay. JB, I learned to not be so shy because my parents are very good communicators. And I did theater and singing. Wow. Had to sing in front of my whole high school at 13. That was scary. Wow, that I think is scary. It is. The idea of singing or dancing or performing, unless you're really good at it. If you're really good at it, I don't think it is scary. But even I was telling this guy today about Carly Simon. Do you guys all know Carly Simon? She's a famous singer. And I saw a biography about her. And her bodyguard, she was at Martha's Vineyard, on the East Coast, and thousands of people were there to hear her. And the bodyguard was looking for her, and he's like, Carly, where are you? Carly, where are you? And he goes in the bathroom, and she's in the bathroom, glued against the wall, just crying her eyes out. She's like, no, tell him to go home. Just tell him to go home. I can't do it. I just can't do it. no, no. And he's like, Carly, you've got to come out and sing. These people have all come from miles away to hear you, and they've played, tons of money. You've got to come out. No, no, just tell him I'm too shy. I can't do it. No. And literally, he just drags her out of the bathroom and kind of shoves her out onto the stage. And then she just starts singing. It's like once you're out there, that's what you have to do. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that's such a great story of people being shy. It's like, okay, but here's Carly Simon, who's a famous singer, but very shy, had a hard time with it. That was brave, Sophie. That is. I think that's very brave. I mean, singing in front of a group, and at 13, that is amazing. You must be good at singing. You've got to sing on your face, so we can hear you. Full moon, really? My wife hasn't turned yet. What does that mean? She hasn't turned yet? Your wife? Maybe she turns over. Turned. She hasn't turned. Okay. Give it a minute. Love it. A good point. Give it a minute. Okay. Lots of people hear you, but they don't listen. And I think ex-Scientologists really listen in general. And they acknowledge and they have heard you. That's part of the communication course. A lot of people, it's really shocking. They've gone all the way up the bridge to total freedom to OT 7 or 8. But they still, if you get them talking about it, their biggest win was on the communication course. And a lot of us out think people stay in because they just want to get back to that original little win that they had. That was pretty monumental for a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people can't confront anything. And then they go on this comm course, and now all of a sudden they can talk and communicate and be amongst people. And, it's a pretty cool skill. It really is. It isn't anymore because they've changed the whole course, and now it's really icky. But it wasn't way back then. In 69, it was fun. But that's correct, Sophie. Okay, JB808. Oh my God, Sophie. When I was a little kid, I had to sing the Away in a Manger church. I got nervous, forgot all the words, and it exits the stage left. I love that story. Who knew there was a second verse of this song? Isn't it funny? All the stuff that we had to do as kids. I just think, oh my God. I always tell boys, you should write a book, because guys, at least from my generation, did so many pranks and tricks on each other. I mean, you just could never do that now. I mean, I don't even know if you could write a book, but if you did, it'd probably be a bestseller, because it's like some of the stuff. Oh God, don't get me started. Okay. Ko-Samui? I don't know what this is. What is this? Ko-Samui. You have to let us know what that means. Now this person said, oh, this is the same one. Oh, you're thinking Kopanyang. That's where my brother is. Kopanyang. That's right. That's not how you spell it, but that's it. That's right. Thank you for reminding me. That's it. That's where he is. All right. Ooh. Love it. New name. That sounds amazing. Enjoy the trip. Yeah. I talked to my brother tonight. I did. Via Facebook. Thank goodness. That's why I love Facebook. Hello, Tori. Hello, Chad. Hello, Moon and Stars. Hello. Your full moon is out tonight. I hope you go out and see it. Hi, Moon and Stars. Have you looked at the full moon tonight? There you go. This is the full moon place. And Moon and Stars. No, I haven't been outside. So it's time to go outside after this. We'll end off and go out and look at the moon. All right, we've got to plan a trip to Thailand. Oh, God, would that be fun? Oh, my brother would have a heart attack. It'd be very fun, though. Moon stars. I've been moon gazing the last few nights. It's yeah, I've seen it the last few nights too. It's really lovely. Sophie, hello, love. I guess I need to get out more. Yeah, definitely tonight. You have to. Tingling Brothers, Barnaby and Bailey. No, it's Ringling Brothers. Yeah, Ringling. I followed Tori for a while, but never joined Chad. Well, thank you for joining. Goosermass? Goismass? Goisermass? Gazermass? I don't know. I don't know how to say it. But I'm glad you joined it. Thank you. The Ringling Brothers and Barnaby and Bailey Circus. I don't think it's all those, but anyway, I think it's just Ringling Brothers Barnaby Circus or Barnum and Bailey Circus. Yes, we're happy you are here. Exactly. Make sure everybody hits the like button too before you forget. Okay. If someone compliments you and you say no, it's kind of rude. You're invalidating them. You know, that's a funny thing that you say that, Lovett, because a guy mentioned that to us when we were at Flag. We were waiting to go in session, and he was sitting there. He was from England, and he wanted some tips on. He was trying to find a girlfriend, and he wanted some tips. And each of us were married, and so we were giving him different tips. And I think I asked him how do you like my hair or something like that, and he said, "Oh, it's okay." And I said, "No, that's never going to work. Girls don't like that. You know, it's like either say you like it, or if you don't, you know, offer. So, you know, I don't know what. I forget. We had a really interesting conversation though, and he goes, "Well, you know what? Here's the deal." Because remember, they were Scientologists, and he goes, "I never know if girls are asking me, do you like me as a spiritual being, or do you like how I look? Like, do you think if you say, how do I look, do you mean you, the spiritual being, or do you mean you, Tori?" Right? And he said, plus women always say no, you know, if you say you look good. And he said, that just makes me feel really bad. And I thought, wow, I never thought of that. You know, that it is invalidating. You're right. And invalidating is just making it wrong or making less of something. So it's not that important. And so that was good. That's good. That's a good, hey. If someone compliments you, it's kind of rude. You're right, love it. Hopefully I'll get back to sleep, but happy to make it live again. Well, thank you. I'm glad you made it live too, and have a wonderful sleep. Marcy Pocus, you'll sleep better after a dose of Tori. There you go. Charles, hi there. Good to see you. I didn't even see him slip in. Where is he, Charles? I don't see him. Oh, yeah, there you are, you little rascal. You slipped in. I love it. And Sophie didn't even say hi to me. There you go. That's why I didn't see him. No, just kidding. But anyway, hi, Charles. I'm glad you're here. It's good to see you. Club Brain Fog. You're so vain fame. Yeah, Carly. Yeah. Charles Patrick. Did anyone else see the CFS guy who ran into Danny and had Danny arrested last year on the BMX type bike in front of Blue, while LAPD detained DOA yesterday? Was the same guy there today? I saw that. I saw that guy in trial. That's where I saw him. I wasn't there when he did the thing to Danny, but I saw Moxon's videos, which were all just clips of their security camera. And then I saw Danny's attorney with the whole video coming up. And I saw the guy, because I was behind Moxon. So I was sitting behind Moxon in the courtroom. And next to him was the guy that was the guy who did it. But they obviously had showed him all these little security clips convincing him that Danny did it to him. And now you see him looking and he's just like stunned. It was just awesome to see. It was like, that isn't what happened. It was just amazing. It was amazing because he actually could see the video on her camera, on the other attorney's camera. Blew it, Osa. You blew it, and Danny won. Okay, so was that the same guy that was there with DOA? Okay, big thunderstorm starting here. Ooh. Ooh. I love thunderstorms. I do too, except in my house, I'm always worried that it's going to leak. I love it too. I do. I love thunderstorms though. Charles, I saw that. That's how you spell Tori Kopanyang. Okay. All right. I believe you. Kopanyang. I went out to look at the moon. It's pouring rain here. Oh, nothing to see tonight. Phooey. That's a bummer. I'm sorry you missed it. Darn. I know. But it's been years since I just stood in the rain. Aw, that's kind of nice too. It is. Oh no, moon and stars, damn it. I wish I could send you a photo. It's so pretty here. You have such beautiful skies, Sophie. I mean, and sunrises and sunsets. I mean, that's always been one of my favorite things about New Zealand. It's amazing. And I think it's the beginning of our country, our world, seeing the sunrise, right? Aren't you the beginning of it? I think you are. I think. If not, somebody tell me. Okay, now I'm going to turn this off again. Oh, wait, there you go. That's a little better. It's not so bright. Okay. I wish it was raining, but I did enjoy some moon gazing tonight. That's good. Sophie, I wish you could too. Okay. Hi again, Tori from the Netherlands. Hello, Peter Van Essen and Marga. All right. Charles Patrick. Thunderstorms are one of the things I miss in LA, especially a few minutes when the storm is rolling in, when it gets really windy before it rains. Yeah. I know there's something really special about that. But I'll tell you, I love the sun. I do. Okay, let's see. Charles. And love it. Charles, yes, it's so cool when it happens. Yeah. Charles Patrick. Hi, Tori. It was the same guy, but he was on a small BMX type bike that kids usually ride, not a scooter. Today. You're talking about today or yesterday when DOA was absconded. Scientology keeps doing it to him, but it's tricky. All right. So we've been on for an hour and 4 minutes. Okay, JB808. Wait, love it. Were you the one who dropped off burritos for Tori and Confident Chris at Big Blue? Sorry for my memory lapse. If it was you, that was super awesome of you to do that. I know you dropped off the cupcakes at my birthday. Did you drop off burritos also? You'll have to let us know. I don't remember the burritos. I do remember them, but I mostly remember the cupcakes and that really cool sign that you made, which I had in my bedroom for a long time. I kept it here for probably a year. Yeah. Okay. I ordered tacos for Tori and Chris. Yeah. It might have been cupcakes. No, it was probably both. I think she did both. That was cool. It was really cool. I really like Confident Chris. I'm sorry that he's not out there anymore because he was a good protester. He really was. And I loved seeing his little stars in his car, in his roof. Tori, the cupcakes were for your freedom anniversary. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. That was fun. That was really fun. I miss those days. I really do. When there were more people protesting and people were protesting in a better way. It's like this angry hatred thing. It doesn't work for me. It's like screaming at people. But we have to remember, I've been in the church and being sent out to handle, quote unquote, critics like that are screaming at me. And I know how it feels. It's awful. It's just like, why do you think anyone would listen to you if you're screaming at them? I mean, just think of any time in your life when someone was screaming at you. Did you really go, oh, let me just listen to what they have to say when they're angry and screaming at you, and you can tell they're not even really there? You know what I mean? It doesn't work. Okay, Tori, the cupcakes were your freedom anniversary. Thank you. 807, thank you. I miss Chris doing his streets impressions with the little hoodies. I know. Those were really fun. It was fun times. There were different things that were more creative. I really appreciate how you and Mark are able to communicate with people during protests. Yeah, we work on it. We really do. We always have, and it's a better way to go. Because I don't think he knows because he was never in, but I know what it feels like to have people just screaming at you, and it's not good. Chris is well missed, but I'm glad he's working hard and living his life. Me too. Yeah, that's good. Me too. I just miss him though. 808 agree. Yeah, for sure. I remember that. Love it. That was awesome. Yeah, it really was. It really, really was. It was really cool. So thank you for doing that. And someone showed up on one of Jessica's sites that at my birthday, it was really cute. Jessica came over to my house and she had these big balloons, happy birthday balloons. And Solomon came with all these flowers. And this lady online saw them buying the flowers in the store. And she thought, you know what? They don't have a vase and they don't know what they're doing as far as flowers. And I do. So she drove over there, wherever they were, to the grocery store, introduced herself, gave them the vase, which I still have. It's beautiful. It's a purple vase, and helped them organize the flowers so they look really pretty. And isn't that sweet? I just thought, what a sweet thing. It was very kind. It really was. I think her name, I forget what it is. It's something of a good dog. Something the good dog. Anyway, that was very cool. I remember that. Love it. That was awesome. Screaming proves Scientology point that outsiders are awful. It's not going to get anyone out. No, never. And it really just does. You go back in and they go, do you really want to ever be out with those people? I mean, do you want to? And I'd always say no, because it was pretty creepy. But then that one guy talked to me, and then I got better at talking to them, just talking with them. And then I would get them to leave. And a bunch of times they left. And Osa would be like, "What did you do?" And I'd say, "I just went out and talked to them. They're just people. They're just people like we're people. They just have a different view. That's all." But it isn't like they have overts and they've murdered someone and all this shit that they're fed in their head from Hubbard. It's like, no, they're just people with a different view. That's all. And I don't think they ever learn from it because they're still crazy. But anyway, I tried. So good morning, Tori. Hi, Dennis. Long time no viewer. Just passing through to say hello. Well, thank you for passing through and saying hello. Many Streets Feral Cheryl has little CFS protester puppets too. Ah, like Tori one even has purple streaks in its hair. Really? Oh, how funny. Joke Peter. All right. Tori, on your birthday, I remember that. We went to lunch. I just wrote that down, that we went to lunch and you gave me those wonderful earrings. I remember. Scooter Mom bought you pies. Oh, yeah, that's right. Was her name Scooter Mom? I don't think it was. I don't think that's it. I honestly don't think it's Scooter Mom, but it's something Mom. It is something Mom. I know you're right on that. I don't think it's Scooter Mom, but she did buy me those delicious Scooter Mom. Yeah, she bought me those pies that were so good. What were those made of? I remember were they coconut? I can't remember. They were really good. It's like, oh, what were they made of? Maybe she'll remember. Moon and Stars, love it. Agreed. I have nothing against DOA, but today would have been a great chance to show people how corrupt LAPD is. Instead, he was yelling and screaming profanity. Ah, I didn't see it, so that's too bad. Question by JB808. I think I know the answer, but if there's one line you can relay to the people stuck in the cult, what would it be? That's a good one. One line. People have asked me that before. And I think you have to ask them a question like, is it really okay with you that 1950 to 1995 is how long? 50, 60, 70, 80, 95. Is it really okay with you that for 45, 50 years, L. Ron Hubbard audited a certain way? And after those 45 years, David Miscavige decided to change the definition of FN. Are you really happy with that? Because I'm telling you, people are not. I know they aren't. It isn't a matter of, well, I think they've adjusted. No, it just isn't. It's too icky. And that's what I would ask them. But, there's a million different things you could ask them, but that's one of them that I would think, because they have to think about it. You know what I mean? Like FNs, changing of FNs. So you're basically saying for L. Ron Hubbard was wrong for 45 years. David Miscavige is saying that. It's like, really? And everyone else who is having wins and successes and they felt good, that's all false? I don't know. But anyway, that's what I would give it a shot. But it depends on the person. It really does. Hey, Tori, haven't seen you in a while. I was born and raised in Burbank. How are you? Hey, hi, Steph. No, I didn't know you were born and raised here, but I'm good. And thank you for asking. Are you still here? We got to get together if you're here. We do. Sophie, I know Mark and Tori are the best. Aww. All right. Good day, Bouts. Hey, T, hi. Where is your pie friend? She made lemon pies. They were lemon? I don't think they were lemon. That doesn't ring a bell. I know they were delicious, whatever they were, but they were something unique. It wasn't lemon, even though I like lemon. It might have been lemon something, but it was some kind of unique pie that she made. Remember that she said, "This is my specialty." Like she created it. JB, you didn't ask me, but it would be, how can you leave your family for a cult? Nah, I don't agree with that, Moon and Stars, even though it's 100% true. But people get too defensive with that. When you go that route, it's like, first of all, calling it a cult, automatic, they just block it out because it's not a cult to them. And Scientology makes that very clear. So don't use cult. And how could how can you leave your family for any church? It's like they're your family. You could say it like that. Don't use the word cult, but you could use that, and it might work. It's tricky. That's why I try to stick to technical questions, because those they have to kind of think about. The other one, it's just an automatic defense. It's like, well, I've had so many wins, and you don't know it. It's like, okay, whatever. Moon and Stars, I appreciate everyone's input. Thank you. JB, if you didn't ask me, but it would be, how can I leave your family for a cult? Yeah, I definitely wouldn't use the for a cult. Even though it is a cult, you're 100% correct on it. It's just they are so brainwashed against that it's an automatic, they're not going to hear it or think about it, because it's just like, now. What's an FN? Which it's a floating needle. It stands for a floating needle. And an E-meter is a thing that they monitor auditing with, which is like their counseling. And once someone gets a floating needle, supposedly their process or whatever they've been working on is done. And now they're better, and they can go to the examiner and attest to having this win that they had. It's a whole process. I mean, it's a real mind control deal when you think about it. Very kind. What would your question be? Yeah, JB, what would your question be? Hey, Sophie, Moon and Stars, I agree. Tori, very good point. I have family in, one missing. Ooh. I guess it's personal for me. Thanks for the advice. No, it's very personal. I mean, it was very personal for me too. It's like all my friends are still in. My ex-husband is still in. But I know if I said cult, because I was in when I would come out, and critics would say, why are you in this cult? And it would just be like, I call it plexiglass. It was just like the plexiglass would come down. I would not hear another thing they said. It's just like, these guys are brainwashed by the internet, by people who've never been in Scientology. They don't really understand what they're talking about. End of story. I'll be here, but I'm not going to really hear any of this. So that's why I'm saying you've got to be careful with words, because, Scientology is all about words, and cult is not a good word for them, not at all. So if you want to be in touch with your family, what I would use is 8808 or Dianetics 55. Have you ever read that? Have you ever read that, Moon and Stars? Dianetics 55? It's about a young girl, and she's out of touch with her parents. And Hubbard writes a whole book on Dianetics 55. And he says, look, just forget about talking about Scientology. The parents are already up. The daughter, they're out of communication. You need to bring them back into communication, just about good roads, fair weather, just regular stuff. And just call them once a week and talk to them. So I don't know would they talk to you if you called them once a week? Because that you could start doing that. I love using their tech against them. I mean, it's really amazing, because it just is. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Perth. Hi, love. Okay. Moon and Stars. I appreciate everyone's input. Thank you. JB808, come on. What's an FN? Okay, I explained that. JB, very kind of you. What would your question be? Hey, Sophie, moon and stars. Okay. Yeah, that's tricky about you. You've missing one. What have you ever done a missing persons thing about it? Moon and stars. That's a tough one. But it would be a statement that I heard Tori mention, which is the way out is the nearest door. And I was going to say that too. Yeah, that's one of my quotes. The way out is the nearest door. Right. And that's it. Because, Hubbard's thing is the way out is the way through. So you have to keep going. But if you think about it, L. Ron Hubbard didn't do the way out as the way through. He took off. So the way out is the nearest door. Find a door, open it, walk out. There's nothing they can do. And that's another thing I would say to my family. There's nothing they can do. You have every right to come out and talk to me. And the other thing I would say is if you are a clear or an OT, how can you possibly stand there and refuse to talk to me? That is ridiculous. It is so out-tack. It's like you propose to be a group that sells communication and you sell freedom, which you can't sell freedom for sure. You just can't, but they do. And then they take it away from people every step of the way, all the way up. So come on. I've tried, but unfortunately they're in their own Truman Show. Okay, moon and stars. That's a tough one. Okay, good. Thank you, JB808. Sorry to hear that. It must be very frustrating and sad. Yeah. Have you ever thought of doing the missing persons thing? And what is a win? I mean, a win in Scientology means nothing in real life. Well, that's not really true. I mean, a win in real life is you feel better about something. Something, you make a cake and it all comes out fabulous. That's a win, right? You are at work and you have to get something done and you get it done on time in the right way. That's a win, right? So there's a lot of things in real life that are wins that people have every day. You get new glasses and you can see better. That's a win. That it's not a spiritual win, but it's a physical win. But I'm just saying in real life, there's a lot of wins that people have, or they don't. Some people have no wins. They're just like, no, life sucks. I mean, I've known people where they're like, nope, life sucks. And then you die, and that's a choice. And my mom taught me that when I was a little kid. She said, you wake up every morning, you got two choices. You can have a good day or a bad day. And you are the only person that can change that. It's kind of true. So I forgot what I was saying. Oh, the win. Yeah. So that's that. So win is like something where you feel better about something that you felt bad about. It could be anything it depends on what they have all these different levels in Scientology. So whatever you're working on, and then you finally get, oh my God, I can communicate with someone anytime in any place. That's a win. There you go. For someone who couldn't communicate before. Okay, so a win is when the brainwashing gets stronger. Okay. Well, did you ever do Scientology, love it? I can't remember. I don't think you did. But maybe you did. Did you? I forget. Isn't that weird? I forget. Anyway, I don't think it's when the brainwashing gets stronger. I don't think that's a win by any means. No, it isn't. It just isn't. I mean, brainwashing does get stronger in Scientology, but that isn't a win. You're not going to feel better because you're more brainwashed. You're just in it more. It's sort of like you're kind of skunked. Okay. It is, but I also have to remind myself that everyone has free choice. True. In San Diego, but I visit often. Okay. Oh, good. You're in San Diego. I love that. It's so pretty down there. And the air is so fresh. Dad was an Academy Award winning cinematographer. Wow. And Gramps opened the camera department at Warner Brothers. Wow. Mom was a cardiologist on staff at St. Joe's, where I was born. I'm like 2 blocks from St. Joseph's. Wow. That is so cool. What a cool family. It's very neat. I love that you're in San Diego. That's really cool. Moon and Stars, Tori, I have not read that. I will look into it. Okay, you have not read that. What? Oh, 88 or Dynex 55. Yeah. Yeah, you can probably get it on eBay for $3 or $2. But it's a very simple thing. It's a matter of doing it. Do you see what I mean? Like I had a guy, he came to my house and I met him. I used to have parties all the time for 14 years. And this guy came to one of my parties and I said, "So what's your deal?" And he said, "Well, my daughter's in Scientology. I used to be. I got her in and now she's really in it." And I said, "So what are you doing about it?" And he said, "Nothing. I want to be the good guy when she comes out." And I said, "I'm going to tell you something. She's never going to come out. You have got to do something. You got to get proactive." And he said, "Well, what would I do?" And I said, kind of what I'm saying to you. I said, "Go over there." She was at Celebrity Center. So I said, "Go over there every week. Bring her some flowers once a week, candy once a week. Go just read poems to her once a week. But, do something every week. So it's like, here's her dad again." And that's exactly what happened. At first, they just screamed at him, "Get out of here. You're not allowed on here." And he'd say, "I just want to give my daughter these flowers," right? And he was a big guy and he would say it really loud. And I said, "Put it out there." You know what I mean? And so he would. He'd be like, "I want to give my daughter these flowers." And so that happened over and over and they'd throw him out. And then it became a PR flap because the rest of the staff would hear it and they were like, "Well, all right, what's going on here?" They're not really comfortable with that. You have to understand that's why I call it the Scientology Truman Show, because they're all in a show, but they don't know they're in the show. They don't realize that. They think it's real. And so finally, they decided, okay, we can't just be kicking this guy out because he's coming every week. He's not stopping. So we're going to get the PR people to talk to him. And this guy knew religion. He really did. He knew his stuff. So he was there talking to him and talking to him and talking to him. And he finally kicked the daughter out. She was in the Sea Org and they kicked her out. They just said, "No, you can't be in the Sea Org. Your father's too antagonistic to Scientology." So they kicked her out. And once she was out of the Sea Org, she left. So that's why I'm saying it's like get proactive, however you have to do it. It's like you can send flowers, you can send candy, and everybody can say, "Oh, that'll just go in the trash." And maybe it will. But you don't know. Maybe sometime somebody will give it to her. Or try to bring it over. That's the other thing I would do if you can. Or get somebody that knows her to bring it over. I know it's so frustrating, like adults getting gold stars for crap that made up in the first place. Yeah, I know it's weird. Be coercive control and mind control, but coercive control and mind control aren't exactly free choice. It's so complicated. Yeah, true. All right, Tori, answer yes. She has been declared dead. Wow, by courts, but we all know better. Her husband is actually in jail for her death. Nobody ever found ever, etc. Wow, that is awful, Moon and Stars. So you did do a lost person's search and they came up with she's dead, but you've never been able to see her body. Was anybody able to explain what happened? I mean, did anybody? I know Scientology wouldn't, but the police should. Or, wow, that's weird. That's heavy, really heavy. I'm really sorry. Um, did you know Ron Shaffron? Yeah, I think I did. Not well, but I knew him. Moon and Stars. I know that's so sad. Moon and Stars. What a bummer. I mean, it's just awful. So you think maybe she's still alive? Maybe. Love it. Again, you were right. But I tell myself she had a choice. I guess it makes me feel better. Yeah. And her choice was to stay in the cult. Well, there isn't anything really you could have done about it. You know what I mean? Excuse me. I think it's really important to celebrate wins, no matter how small they are. I do too. I really do. I mean, I don't like it when people are like, "There's no wins." I mean, that's just not true. It's not. At the same point, the choice. All right, but you could wake up at any moment. I, I think we can brainwash ourselves, self-worth, self-esteem, probably, but it's not as bad as when you're in a cult. Love it? I hope so. I have been to Blue several times looking for her. I'm not even sure that's where she is. It's very frustrating. What do you know what she did? Do you know what um do you know where she like where she was on was she must have been on staff, right? Sorry, I'm biting this, but I'm trying to get my throat to calm down. Yeah, I don't think you're gonna find her at Blue. Thank you, Steph. It's good advice, Tori, in any situation when we isolate. Yeah. When it starts, maybe email Tori her name. We could be on the lookout. No. It's like, what would I look out for? These people won't even talk to us, and for years. They mostly don't even let them out. If I'm there, they're not going to let them out. An anonymous pointed that out. They'd go in 2008. They'd go. She shut him down in 3 minutes. And the whole street would be vanished if I just put my foot on L. Ron Hubbard Way. I mean, it's really weird. It really was. It's really strange. But I mean, it's like I'm not a frightening person. I'm not someone who's out screaming and yelling at people. I never have been. So it's so weird that they're just terrified of me. It's really strange. It really is. Okay, no. Yeah, I don't think emailing me her name is gonna. You could email my. I see so few of them. It's like they don't come out that much. Even if I sent you an email months ago with her name, her first name is Elizabeth. Do you remember the email? Oh, but that's the thing. You could send me someone's name and their birthday and everything else, but if people won't talk to me and they don't let people around me, if I sit, which I go with Drew and we just sit underneath that big Scientology sign and we talk to but mostly the locals. But the Scientologists, if they come out, the kids have pointed out to me, they have to go across the street and behind me. They can't walk right in front of me. They can't. It's very weird. So the chances of me finding her, I mean, I think you would have a way better chance of finding her. But I mean, if they've already decided that she's dead, I think I don't know. You have to do what's in your heart. You have to do what you know is right. And whatever that is, it doesn't matter what they think or what they do. I mean, if you think she's in somewhere, I would be in there every day. Be like, look, I need to see my sister's body. I don't. You haven't shown it to me. I haven't seen it. I'm going to keep speaking about it. I'm going to go on radio. I'm going to go on TV. I'm going to talk about it until something breaks and somebody tells me. I want a Scientologist, whoever's hearing this. If you hear this and you know what happened to my sister, I need to know. For my own peace of mind, I need to know. And to the husband who's in jail, I'd go see him. Say, what the hell happened? I want to talk to you. You know what I mean? That's just me, though. I'm like, that would be too tricky. I'm sorry if I'm getting too heavy, but it's a heavy area. Oh, moon and stars. I feel so bad for you. That's like awful. Do you live near Scientology? Okay, let's see. Yeah, I love it. No, that won't work. Tori, yes, I've even sent you email. I remember that, yeah, but it's too tricky. You're the best. How far away are you from them? Okay. Steph. Oh my God, I'm so sorry, Moon and Stars. Your whole struggle and fighting Scientology, yeah. Can I just comment with the person who commented on DOA when the police came? He was screaming foul, foul language, calling them horrible things. He made a complete scene and overdid it, calling for. Yep. To be honest, if I had been swatted multiple times for no reason, I would probably be screaming foul language too. Well, I don't know. There's a point where you have to go, this isn't working. You know what I mean? It's like it just isn't working. And if it isn't working and he's getting more hurt than doing anything effective, what's the point? That's the way I look at it. And that's not against him. That's against what he's doing. And I'm speaking from someone who was in and was out with people who were yelling, and it's not effective. It just isn't. They might hear you, but they're not going to hear it. Do you see what I mean? It might physically, they can hear someone screaming, but all that does is make us look bad. It's like, God, they're nuts. And anyway, he's been through it so many times where I think he can exercise self-control. It just scares the Scientologists away, who our main goal is to break it down and get them out. It was horrific. Yeah, it doesn't help, and it just makes it stronger where they won't talk to us at all. Agreed. There. Moon and Stars. Hey, I get it 100%. I sent it after one of your lives, but you're right. Telling where she is. I don't know what you're saying there. Tori, I get it 100%. I sent it after one of your lives, but you're right. Oh, I see, about telling where she is. Yeah. Tricky. Really tricky. In a bad way. Hey, Tori and Chad, but Moon and Stars, I gotta say I love you. I really do. And if she did die, I'm pretty sure she's smiling on you right now, going, don't worry about it, kiddo. I'm okay. You take care of you. It's like, keep doing what you're doing. help other people wake up, because I don't think you're going to find her. I mean, even if she isn't a dead, something really bad probably happened, and they've probably put her in another country or something, or they decided there was something bad happened, which it didn't. But I don't know. They're so crazy. It's hard to figure it out. Doesn't Aaron have a lot of people that are low on the radar that he might be able to get the word out for her? You could check, Steph. That's one thing you could do. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. Hi, Connie B. Hey. A lot of the under the radars have turned away from Aaron now because they don't trust him. That's too bad. Hello, Steph. Rumors are not facts. Tori, I have a home in Florida and California. When I'm in California, I'm about 10 minutes from Blue. Okay, so Moon and Stars, next time you're here, let's do something. We'll figure something, we'll get together. I don't want to do it online. I don't want to, because anything we say here, they'll go, okay, that's their plan, right? So we're not going to say what we're going to do, but we're going to get together. So when you come here, we'll get together and then we'll figure something out. And also you won't know what it is. But you know what? You screwed up. I can tell you that. You screwed up again. Whether she's alive or not, you screwed up by cutting this family off. It never works. It will never work. Let me say it again in case you didn't get it. It'll never work. Breaking up families. Never, never, never. It is literally destroying your organization. And it is an organization. It's not a church. It's not a religion. For anybody who's just plugging in, Scientology is not a religion and it is not a church. Yes, they have religious status, but they are actually a fraudulent business pretending to be a religion. And you have to pay for every single step of their bridge to total freedom, which is a bridge into a ditch. So Scientology will never work. The more families you break up, the deeper you go into the pit. So it's happening, and it's going to keep happening. Excuse me. Okay, I forgot about that T. Okay, what did T say? T. Okay. A lot of the under the radar. Oh, yeah, okay, about Aaron. Okay. Yeah, rumors are not facts, Tori. Okay, that's good, though. So next time, let me know ahead of time when you're coming. Just send me a private message. Not an email, because I don't read emails unless you send me a private message saying check your emails, and then I'll read it. Okay. When it starts, how old is she? When it starts. You mean when it started? Let's not spread division. I'm making a division between Osa and this person who's trying to find her sister. I'm not spreading division between you guys. Is that what you mean? Because I'm just trying to make sure they're very good at listening in on stuff and going, oh, okay, that's what they're going to do. And we don't want to give them any information like that, if that's what you meant, Sophie. Tori, thanks so much, but she isn't dead. I believe I would feel it if she was. I will see her again one day and find out. Okay, good. So when you're here, that's our project. We'll work on it, see if we can put something together. If that was directed at me, T, and under the radar has told me personally, and others have said in live chats. Okay, I respect that. That's fine. Hey, Connie. Oh, she's saying, here's Sophie. Take that, Osa. There you go. Thank you. Moon and stars, you'll see her again. Love is stronger than cults eventually. That's the thing. They'll never win because we will always win. We're on the side of truth and honesty, and they're on the side of lies and deceit. I love hope. I truly hope you can get reconnected soon, Moon and Stars. I do too, T. I do too. Tori, I would love to meet you, but nothing live. No announcements. Zero. No, absolutely no. But I'm just saying you and I, that's why I'm saying nothing that we're going to talk about now. I don't want to keep like hashing it out because I don't want to give them any ideas on what we might possibly be doing. So let's just get together. And of course, there'll be nothing. I never say anything when I talk to people personally. I never say their names and I never give specifics. I basically never say anything. If someone says don't say it, I don't say it. I know a lot of secrets. You would be surprised. So anyway, absolutely. Nothing would be live, except we'll be live, right? We would be live. I don't want to do it on the phone or something like that. We'll do it somewhere where no one can be sitting near us or around us. I know where to go. William Streets was just saying that local Latina police auditors were very angry at DOA for screaming at the Latina workers in front of Celebrity Center last year, and he's no longer protecting DOA. Wow, really? That is awful. Because a judge said that he had every right. I was in the courtroom when she said he has it's free speech, and she looked at it as a lot of his stuff was entertainment. I mean, we know that a lot of it doesn't work really well as far as entertainment, but a judge said, no, he has a right to do it. He has a right to do it. And for the police to say they're not going to protect him, that's not right. No, that's not okay. Moon and stars, if I can help in any way, let me know. Yeah, exactly. They told Liz her dad was dead. Really? Wow. Thank you, but it's been 21 years. Oh, Moon and stars, that is so awful. Unbelievable. That's like one of the worst stories I've heard in a long, long time. And I'm really sorry. I really, really am. It's like, ugh, terrible. Do you mean private message on Facebook? I'm talking to Moon and Stars. T, do you mean me? What, I'm not sure what your question is, T. What do I mean on Facebook as far as what? There's power in numbers. It's just like the Nora and Aaron thing is getting a little out of control. I agree. Moon and Stars. Steph says that. Moon and Stars. Tori, the no live was on ODA. I don't know what ODA is. I didn't mean to imply you would. Sorry, it came across that way. Okay, I don't know what ODA is. But okay, good. Moon and stars. So just let me know, and send. But I think T, what I meant is, I have like thousands and thousands of emails that I haven't answered, and I've spent years trying to, and I just give up. So what I finally told my friends is, if you want to send me an email, send me a little private message or via Facebook, a Facebook message, a text or a Facebook message saying, check your email. And then I will. That's all there is to it. But they do that. And it really works well. It's a good system. Okay, so, all right. Charles, I don't think that's true at all. The police are not doing that. unless you have actual evidence that is total lies. Wow. Um, I think Charles was there, right? Weren't you there? I guess not. Let's see. William Streets was just saying that local Latino police auditors were very angry at DOA for screaming. So this is from Streets. Okay, for screaming at the Latino workers in front of Celebrity Center last year, and he's no longer protecting DOA. Okay, and he's no longer protecting DOA. Okay, so is he Streets? Streets isn't protecting him? Is that what he means? I'm not sure, Charles, on that. Anyway, it is what it is. I mean, OSA. Oh, no, DA. Okay, thank you. Okay, good. Thank you, Moon and Stars. Okay, so Tori, the no live was for OSA. I didn't mean to imply you would. Sorry if it came across that way. Yeah, no, they're toast. And luckily they keep destroying themselves more and more and more. So thank you for that. Bill Yachty, if you're listening, you're doing a fabulous job of ruining the Church of Scientology and Gavino and I don't know, I could list Tom Cruise, just staying there and not saying anything. I know he doesn't know anything. So that's, in all fairness to him, they keep him very, sequestered kind of thing. So he doesn't really see. I didn't either. I didn't until way at the end. I only at the end when my auditor asked me to do that with the phony accounts. That's the only time I saw the real dark side of Scientology. And I'm telling you, it was really a shakeup for me. I mean, at first it was like, oh, okay, I'll help you out. Okay, I'll get a couple more accounts. Oh, okay, we'll get that. But then as it started acting more and more mafia-like, I was like, wait a second. I didn't get into Scientology. That's when I thought I've got to go look on the internet and see what they're doing with these phony accounts because he wouldn't tell me, right? So I went and looked, and there on that, thank God that day, they had all baking recipes. And back then, the internet was all linear. So it started out, L. Ron Hubbard's a liar. And then Yachty would jump on, no, he's not a liar. That's not true. And then he'd come on as Mary Smith and say, who cares? L. Ron Hubbard's a Dumbo. And then, he wouldn't say that, but, he'd do distract. And their intention was to drive it down on the first page onto the second page. And then nobody reads the second page. But they started acting so mafia-like. That's when I thought, okay, I got to look at this. And the day I looked at it, there was all baking recipes, how to bake German chocolate cake and how to bake cupcakes and how to do this. And in between how the baking things were these people saying, I didn't say that. Scientology is changing my words. And that's when I realized, oh my God, they're stopping free speech with these accounts that I opened to help my auditor. And that's when I called him up and said, hey, Bill, I really can't keep doing this. I've got to go back to work. And he said, okay, meet us at and anyway, I'm going to tell that story again soon. Not tonight, but I am again. And I know a lot of people have heard it, but it's like there's new people that are on and they need to hear it because it's really a good story. It is about how they pitched me under the bus. And that was the end. That was kind of it. It really was. Okay, now let's see. Now I'm craving a Bob's Big Boy. Ooh, you dangerous woman mentioning Bob's Big Boy milkshakes. Damn, I am too now. I can't follow all the drama. Sorry. Police officers are people who live stream in public places to check if local police uphold the Constitution. Wow. Police auditors. Oh, okay. So they're auditors of the police. Oh, interesting, Charles. Very interesting. And so, Sophie, I totally understand. I mean, there's so much stuff going on. It's like how to keep up with all of it is amazing. And I don't. Today I just followed Jessica most of the day. on and off. I'm craving. Don't say that, Bob's big boy. Ooh, Julie de Villers. Laura and Ashley swore too. Nobody will listen to them while I scream like mad women. They come over like high on some substance. Ooh, I don't know that that's true, but I wasn't there. Liz Ferret's dad ended up being alive. Wow, well that's cool. And Liz thought he was dead? That's cool. Sorry I misunderstood, Charles. That's okay. LOL, no need to apologize, Sophie. I could be wrong. Love it. And a piece of pie from Marie Callender's. Oh man, now we're really talking. Actually, we could go to Marie Callender's if they were still open. They're not. They closed here in Burbank, but they have pie and milkshakes. But you know who else has really good milkshakes is Bob's Big Boy, and they're open all night long. So there you go on that one. But I'm not going over there. Streets was not there. Oh, well, that's interesting. Moon and stars, help. It's too late at night to be getting the munchies. Moon and stats help. I think you meant stars. That's so sneaky. Street said he had been protecting DOA because they were angry at DOA for going after the Latino work crew who were just trying to make some money and probably had no other connection to C of S. Okay. Love it. Did you ever eat at the Velvet Turtle? Yeah, I have. Delicious. Protecting him from who, Charles? All right. Moon and stars. No, I never did. Is it good? I did. It is. And Connie, when we were in LA, we went to Bob's in Toluca Lake. Yeah. It was an experience. Yeah, it is. It's crazy. Justice. Hello, Tori. Nice to hear your voice and see your pretty face. Thank you. Hugs from me. Thank you, Justice. That's very sweet. I appreciate it. Moon and stars, love it. I don't know if it's still open. It was in Orange County. I remember it. I've been there, but it was a long time ago, too. I don't know if it's still open also. Oh my God, the Velvet Turtle blast from the past. Yeah, truly. I think they had one here in LA, too. I do. Moon and stars, oh, I thought it would be weird if I didn't know it if I'm LA. It's not that far. Okay. I love me some Ashley and Laura. Okay. Moon and stars, haha. We went to Warner Brothers studio tour and it was a blast. And I loved the property room. So many cool things. That's fun, Connie. I stand alone. Good morning, Tori. You should be in bed just looking after you. Thank you. I do need to go to bed. Thank you for reminding me, Justice. Was it you who said that? Or was it I stand alone? No, it was I stand alone. Thank you. From your Scottish friend, Craig. Thank you. Thank you. I love that. Well, thank you for reminding me. And Justice Tori, if we have ideas for a topic in your live stream, can we mention them in the comments? Absolutely. I've been asking you guys to mention ideas, but not tonight because we got to go to bed. But the next time I'm on, yeah, for sure. How fun it would be to work there. Yeah, it would. Justice, yes, please do. I'll write them down. Okay. And T protecting DOA from the local LA Latino police auditor guys. that Streets knows because they film police stops too. Okay, good to see you, Connie. It's so let's meet at Bob's Big Boy when Moon and Stars comes and we congregate. All right, we can do that. We'll have one of those, and then Moon and Stars, you and I'll have a separate one where it's just where we're talking about our project. And that will be that. But we can all meet just for fun. So that's the plan. I want to come too, Steph. Of course, Connie. Anybody's invited. I love your long lives. Thank you, JB808. Bed? I'll sleep when I die. The big sleep, I think they call it. That's funny. Ooh, look at this. Streets had stopped protecting DOA because of the controversy with the attorney and the way he behaved. He was out of control, and Streets was quitting protesting Scientology. Okay. I like Streets. I really do. He's a good guy. So anyway, and he's come and helped many of us many times when, not so much me, but these other people when they were arrested. Streets shows up and it really helps. Oh, wait, where'd you go? Your thing was there and then it went away. Here it is. Someone did a review video of the amazing pie shop restaurant in Burbank a couple of years ago, but I can't remember the name. Was it the Talleyrand? The Talleyrand, you can type in the Talleyrand and what was the guy's name who used to, I love him. He's the guy that used to do all those interviews. You know, he'd go around and go to different places and, you know, hi, you know, this is Hugh Hauser. My name is Hugh Hauser. And he had California's Gold. And if you type in Hugh Hauser in YouTube and the Talleyrand, which is a restaurant here in Burbank, it is a riot to hear what he has to say. It's really fun. We eat there all the time. Okay, Tori is, yep, it's still there across the street from the studios. It is. Yes, it is. Okay, now wait, what happened there? But we can have a side mission. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, it'll be a side thing. Ha ha ha. I spoke to Stan, the Magic Castle. He is willing to help me too. Wow. Isn't Stan a Scientologist or not? I guess not. Streets is really cool. When I met him, he was so kind and humble. He's a really cool guy. He is. And he's a savior of many. Smokehouse garlic bread is the best. Yeah. Oh my gosh, how stupid am I? I'm sorry. Why? What are you stupid about? I don't know. Why are you saying you're stupid? Why are you sorry? Tori, I've completed OT1. I went to a cafe for coffee and 2 hours and looked at people. I hope you're joking. I really do. Unfortunately, there are some people that are independents, but I don't think this would be the best. I don't know. Let me know if you're serious or if you're kidding. I don't know. Oh, you completed it. Okay. I went to the cafe. Okay, good. I get it. So you're just saying that's what you did then. That's what I did too for OT1. I went to some bus stop and looked at people. It was so stupid. It was like, what the hell is this? Totally love Streets. He's a great activist. Yes. Tori, yes, he is, but he dated my mom. Let Osa spin on that one. He who? Moon and Stars, what did I say? Yes, he is, but he dated my mom. Did Streets date your mom? Is that who we're talking about, or is there somebody else? I don't know who you mean by he dated my mom. I haven't had the fish and chips. Sophie and I were talking fish and chips earlier today. Love it. You're too funny. Steph, hey, if anyone wants to come to San Diego, I have a condo in Del Mar, 2-bedroom. Anyone can come and stay in it. That would be super awesome. Hey, can you send me your phone number? That would be really cool. Send it via the Facebook private message. Send that to me, and I'll call you and we'll talk about it. Tori, Stan dated my mom, not Streets. I don't know who Stan is. Do I know who Stan is? I don't know who that is. I know. Streets is a cool guy. I go down there sometimes. That's such a sweet offer. It is. Thank you very much. Please send me a private message with your phone number and I'll call you and we'll talk about it because I might do it. That would be fun. Stan at Magic Castle. Okay, good. So Stan is not a Scientologist? Because I know there was a Scientology magician. I thought his name was Stan. Let me see. Love it. You can come anytime. Thank you. I know, but is he the Scientology magician? There's a lot of magicians at the Magic Castle. Do you remember the Copper Penny? Of course. We used to go there all the time. That was really fun because all the writers from Warner Brothers were there late at night writing their screenplays and stuff. It was really great. I definitely remember it. They tore it down, though. Okay, well, thank you, Steph. And please do send me your phone number and I will call you and we will talk and make some plans. But anyway, in the meantime, I have to go to bed. I do. We've been on now for 2 hours and 6 minutes and 56 seconds. So anyway, everybody say goodnight, say goodbye. I love you guys. And we will be back again soon. Good night, everyone. Very nice. One blue streak. One blue sock. I like that. All right. Have a beautiful sleep and sweet dreams, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, everybody, sweet dreams or a good day tomorrow for the new guys that come on. If you come on after this and just leave me a comment on anything that we've talked about. Stan Gerson, that's right. That's who that is. And this guy's name was what? What was this guy's name? Yeah, Stan Gerson. All right, so this one, which is the... Yeah, so do you mean Stan Gerson? Is that what you're talking about? Because he's a Scientologist. Oh, I get it, because you're out, but they're still in. I forgot. That's right. So, and your mom dated Stan. He's an amazing magician. Wow. Talk about cool. But he's willing to help you? I mean, I'm like, I thought he was still in. Is he out? Did he get out? Wow. That's fantastic if he did. I'm really happy to hear that, Moon and Stars. All right. Well, anyway, like you said, I was a chew on that one. All right, kids. Thanks for staying here for so long. I think we had a good night. It was fun. And I will see you in what are we at now? It's Wednesday, so probably maybe Friday, Saturday. All right. Peace out, unless something comes up. I'm just kidding with you, Tori. I've done no Scientology. I'm allergic to colds. I'm hoping to go over to Copenhagen to protest outside. All right, with Scientology up north. Cool. Thank you. I stand alone. I thought, wow, I thought for a minute it sounded like you were just finished, and I went, oh no. Please hit the like on your way out. Everyone hit the like. Thank you. Thank you to Sophie and Love It and all of you for being here. Thank you. All right. I'm going to say goodnight now. Peace out.